Yeah, it's not rare.
Yeah. Now, at the end of the day, if he doesn't make that play, right, you know, there's no championship and stuff. Yeah.
That's the crazy thing about it. It'd be almost like a fluke that could make it. It's actually a fluke if they miss it.
So I'm glad she did.
Yeah.
Got a whole hotel mess up. I was just right now, just like heading down. We got a call right before the game starts. We checked in at that time. Well, we had gotten there at 12:30. Asked for an early check-in. So it's not running yet. You're gonna be room 7 to 12. We'll attach your car to that, the parking unit. You know, we're just looking for lodging. So I get a call at like 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. We're gonna call the McCook Public Schools Board of Education meeting for August to order. First thing on the agenda is do roll call, Mr. Gross.
Scott Barker.
Here.
Amanda Burr.
Here.
Jesse Judovich.
Here.
Mike Langen.
Here.
Charlie McPherson. Brad Hayes.
Here. Next on the agenda is recognition of the open meeting law, which is on the wall over there. If you'd like to read that, we'll be following those tonight. So now we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our next agenda item is board will accept public comments. There is a 5-minute limit, and we will just take your information and we will not be able to respond tonight. The max is 30 minutes. Looks like we only have 2, so we should be good. So the first person on the list is Brian Nally, and he is here. His topic is concerns of teacher.
We can start off just by saying, a person in a position of trust is someone that we allow the most vulnerable spaces of our lives, someone we rely on to act with integrity, protect those in their care, and always put the safety and well-being of others first. In our schools, that trust is sacred. Parents hand it over when they send their children through these doors each morning. Students give it when they walk in the classroom, believing they are safe, respected, and valued. When that trust is honored, a teacher can change a life. When it is broken, it can scar a child forever. There's a teacher in the school district that's repeatedly crossed the boundaries of what's acceptable for a student-teacher relationship. According to Nebraska State Law Statute 79-879, on or before June 30th, 2021, the school board or the Board of Education of each school district and the governing authority of each private denominational patriarchal school shall adopt a policy regarding appropriate relationships between a student and a school employee or a student, teacher, intern. Such policy shall include the following at a minimum. First off, a procedure for a school employee or student, teacher, intern to verify the policy was received and understood. I don't believe that there is such a policy. Notice that any violation of the policy by a school employee or student, teacher, intern may result in disciplinary action up to including dismissal. A description of the preferred methods for a school employee or student, teacher, intern to use in communicating with students, including with which personal communication systems the board or governing authority have deemed permissible for such purpose, as well as a procedure for reporting suspected grooming or other unacceptable conduct of a school employee or student, teacher, blah, 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 blah. Beginning at some time at the end of last school year, it was being reported that there was a teacher that was crossing those boundaries, communicating with a student, secretly using Spotify as an app. It was reported multiple times by a teacher that this student was spending a large amount of time with this male teacher unsupervised. It was reported by the school SRO, Officer McGinley, that this teacher was following the student on social media. There was very little done to investigate it at that point in time until about 2 weeks ago when it was brought to the police. I feel that the administration and the school board has failed our students and has failed our community by not addressing this issue when it was first brought up last year. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next for public comments will be Jesse
Oh,
Morgan.
no, I'm sorry, I thought that was the sign-in sheet. I'm sorry, no public comment, no.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't feel so cool on that.
So we'll move to the next agenda item, which is approval of the consent agenda, which includes the minutes and financials from July.
I move to approve the consent agenda from July.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second, any discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a vote, Mr. Gross.
Charlie McPherson. Yes. Brad Hayes.
Yes.
Scott Barker.
Yes.
Amanda Burr.
Yes.
Jesse June.
Yes.
Mike Lang.
Yes.
Motion approved. Next on the agenda is superintendent's report.
All right, first we're going to start off with the itinerary. As you know, this is a big week for the public school systems. August 5th, we had our new teaching staff report for work. That first week for our new teaching staff has a lot of trainings involved. Mr. Bednar does a lot of trainings with them. Mr. Curl, as far as curriculum, instruction, he works with the mentors and mentees. We have Mr. Curl visits with him about safety. Mr. Hansen visits with him about special education and some of the skill sets required for dealing with behavior issues, those types of things. And then they also have some time spent with each of the building level leaders. So that went really, really well. August 12th, tomorrow, all faculty report for work. We're going to have the rest of our staff come into work. We'll welcome them tomorrow morning with the morning breakfast. They'll have a presentation, and then there'll be another set of meetings and activities for our teachers to be engaged in. There's some trainings involved with that. It's a pretty exciting day to bring our staff back into work. On August 14th, we'll have grades 1 through 6 and grade 9 attend the first day of school. 2 o'clock dismissal on the first day of school Wednesday anyway, so 2 o'clock dismissal. And then August 15th, the remaining grades 7, 8, 10, and 12 attend their first day of school, again, 2 o'clock dismissal. So this is a big week for the public school system. School improvement goals this year. Just wanted you to know that we'll be working on our school improvement goals. This is year 1, and so there's some it's a big year because we have to do a lot of identifying of what our specific goal is going to be for the next 5 years. We need to review and reapprove or rework the district's mission and vision statements. So we've had the same vision statement for a number of years. There's no reason to believe right now that it's necessarily going to change, but it's something that we do so that the team will work on it. We'll have some stakeholders, community members comment on it when we'll bring it to the Board of Education as well. We'll also select a tool to collect perceptual data. Over the last 15 years, we've used a self-created student and community survey. We're likely to choose something different this time. The state of Nebraska has put together a perceptual survey for us. We'll take a look at it. We'll make a decision on which one we want to use. We're also going to be looking at a lot of data, trend data over the last 3 to 5 years. So we're going to look at assessment data and do a lot of assessment analysis. The goal, obviously, with the school improvement process is to identify an area of weakness and then create a plan for improvement, right? So you want to identify what area specifically you're not achieving as high as you think you should be in, and then come up with a solution or a plan for improving student achievement. Also establish a school improvement goal, so that I just kind of talked about that, and begin the development of an action plan. So the action plan has in it, or it contains, the different actions that the school district will employ to try to increase the performance in the area that we identified as being lower than what we think it should be. And so that action plan, there'll probably be things put on it in that first year, but that's a living document, and that'll be worked on over the course of time. So that's all I have on school improvement. Next, I have special recognition. McCook Public Schools was recognized by the McCook Cordials for being selected as the McCook Chamber of Commerce Honor Business for the second quarter of the year. Members of the McCook Chamber, McCook Cordials, and Board of Education, Chamber members, and community members attended the presentation that we held right out here in the junior high cafeteria. Following the presentation, the superintendent, I spoke briefly about the bond issue, and we also had Mr. Lyons give a tour to folks of the building and show them where our concerns are. Instructional materials purchase for 2025-2026. Annually, we always have a materials purchase process. This year, we're going to be looking at career and technical education instructional materials during the school year. Mr. Bednar will again be leading that process, and so our folks that are in industrial tech, agriculture, drafting, small engines, construction, woodworking, they'll all be involved with the process of identifying what materials we want to acquiesce for the following 7 years. And that is all I have for my report.
Thank you, Mr. Morgan. Next on the agenda is business manager report. Mr. Gross.
In the month of July, we served 14,400 meals. I did get a recap today with OPA and talking to our kitchen manager, and for the entire school year, because we don't serve in the month of up until school starts, but to end this fiscal year with the lunch program, we served 91,500 lunches and 36,800 breakfasts. And this summer totally, with us having free food for all, we served 31,220 meals. So by us operating those programs, we helped a lot of kids out, and families, without a doubt. Financials, we're 92% done in the fiscal year. Revenue is at 106%, and year-to-date expenses is at 92%. The state has really been pushing the clarity for boards and everybody to understand that with the new tax credit that was done in special session last year. In the past, when everybody paid their property tax, they paid the full amount, and then they claimed off about 33% of that when they filed their income taxes. Beginning in January, the state, your tax bill, your property tax bill, was reduced by that amount, and the state fronted everybody that money in 2 payments in January and in May. So our receipts, that's that 106%. Our receipts are higher because come September, October, when people pay their taxes, that pay the second portion of it, it's going to be lower. So that swing, when we do all of our final fiscal financials, it's going to make 24-25 look better and 25-26 look lower. It's really just a cash flow issue going from one fiscal year to the other. Mr. Norgard and I have been prepared about it. We've been talking about it all year. As we do our audit and wrap up all of our financials in August, I'll give you a report of how much extra money we're going to keep sitting in general fund to be able to cover the loss of revenue that will happen in the September, October county treasurer's revenue that we receive. So for all of our funds total, revenue is about 103%. Year-to-date expenses are 90%. So the budget's going to come in right. We're going to come in very close to budget. So there'll be very little revenue in August, or in August. There never is, but expenses will still be the same, 1/12. So facility updates: the senior high gym, hallway, commons. man, we're just putting the final finishing touches on it. It looks awesome. It's a huge upgrade. I know that the facilities committee walked down there a few weeks ago. When you guys go to your first volleyball game and walk in there, you're gonna, just really pops out at you. Then you're gonna tell how the rest of the hallway's looking. So it's gonna make us wanna be fast tracked to get moving down the rest of the hallways. Really, we're just putting everything back in place for school to start on Thursday, but most of our projects are all wrapped up. Projects we're working on in our office right now, we are under a federal desk review for all 23 and 24 federal grants, which includes IDA, title, ESSERS, and so it's ongoing. It's just a ton of data collection and sharing it with the Department of Ed, who has to then work on that with the feds. And so we've already been through the 23-24 NDE audit of all of these funds for the state level, but every 5 years you go through a full desk review with the federal government, and so that's what we're dealing with. And that's one of those pieces that will go away when the Department of Education, the federal Department of Education, if it ever truly goes away, it'll just be down to the department, the states will be doing those audits as opposed to double. We're hoping, so, okay. Valuations will be in on August 20th. And so there's two main factors for me to continue working on the budget and to wrap things up and meet with finance and facilities on the budget. And obviously one of them is tomorrow, the election, because I've got a budget working this way, thing passes, budget working this way, thing fails. And then wait until next week on the 20th when we get the full-fledged valuations from all 4 counties, and then we can start working on setting tax levies and things. So, 24-25 audit, I will email you this, you don't have to take note right now, but the auditors will be here the 9th, 10th, and 11th, and on that Thursday, the 11th, I will need the finance committee to come in for a wrap-up with the auditors. So, moving on, bond project, tomorrow's the last day for the ballots to be dropped off. We put a lot of time and effort into this. We've encouraged people to get to the polls. We've encouraged people to take our tours. We spent a large amount of time between tours and going to all the seniors, Hillcrest and Highland Park and Kinship Point and the Senior Center, and just spent a lot of time around town answering questions. So, and being at the fair and having a presence as the school district out there. So, tomorrow's the last day. So I did report to those of you that heard. I did talk to the election commissioner today. Ballots can only start to be counted at 5 o'clock. The other 3 counties, Frontier, Hayes, and Hitchcock, can only get in their car after 5 o'clock to drive those here. So they really expect heavy counting to be, between 5 and 6:15. She anticipates 6:15 to 6:30 we'll start having some answers. They hope to be completely wrapped up and done by 7. So I know Grant and I will plan on heading up there, probably leaving the house around 6:15 and meeting at the courthouse and going. So if anybody's interested in that. So, and then things we're wrapping up right now. We finished, I got the IDA application done and student census in the month of July. So we're pretty much ready to roll the calendar and start everything over again from what we pretty much finished up. So questions on any of that? That's a lot of stuff.
I do have a quick question on that excess auction online. Did that work well for us?
It did work well. It did work well. I know I reported it, the one, I think we ended up making about $18,000 off of surplus items, which is, for us to have a garage sale type of mentality, or for us to list all of those things individually in silent auction was just having the group that did it was a big deal for us. So, and we got our storage rooms cleaned out and stuff that was just taking up space, to be honest. I yelled at Mr. Dickus the other day because he moved something in there. I said, we just cleaned them out, so they'll all get it from me.
It was the trophies that we replaced from the trophy cases. None of them were thrown away, we still have every single one.
So, because I'm not a tech rat, but there's a lot of people around here that are, so. So yeah, and what was I was gonna say something else about, I can't remember, it'll come to me. So, on project. Oh, Mr. Norgard and I will send out a doodle poll probably next week, because we will have until the end of September, by September 1, we gotta have a pretty good idea of where we're headed, so we'll send out that doodle poll so you can get finance and facilities in to start talking about budget and project-based stuff that's gonna have to be done, so be on the lookout for that, but those will be pretty high priority. We're gonna have to get those meetings set up pretty quick, so.
Very good. Any questions or comments for Mr. Rhodes? Hearing none, we'll move to the next agenda item, which is board member comments. We'll start with you, Jesse.
I don't have any.
Scott? I only have one, and Heather should be sending out tomorrow. We do have our NASB meeting in North Platte on September 3rd. That's when we usually leave around 3:30 or 4, head to North Platte for meetings. And then this year, no pressure, because we'll grab it for you, but there'll be some people that are going to be recognized: Amanda, Jesse, Charlie, Mike, and myself at that meeting for points awards for attending some of their meetings. So
They have levels, and so you get every time you reach a level, you get a recognition for that, so.
And that is the 3rd, correct?
September 3rd. It usually starts around 5:30 if I remember right, so, but we leave here in time to get there and get
We'll
back
send
usually
out-
around 9:30 or so.
Yeah, we'll send out an email with information concerning where to meet, what time. So usually it's the superintendent's parking lot behind the entryway into conference room A and my office, so we'll meet back there at some point.
So either way, let Heather know, yea or nay, so she can start planning for that. My computer shut down here, so I don't know what's next on the agenda without my. Next is new business, thank you. And that business would be accept with gratitude a donation from the Copper Mill for the Nor Group. I'm looking for a motion.
I move to accept with gratitude a donation from the Copper Mill, Adam Siegfried, in the amount of $1,015 for the Nor Group.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Other than thank you, Adam, and the Copper Mill.
So when the Nor Group got back from their trip, they had discovered, in going back to the ballpark where they've done concessions to race for 2 years, that they've been broken into and had some things stolen. And when Adam at the Copper Mill heard about that, he made a bunch of pre-made pans of food and said everything that this sells, he's gonna donate back, and they sold out, and he donated $1,015 to Nor to recoup the losses from the concession stand being broken into.
That's awesome.
Very nice.
Classic, very nice.
Any more discussion?
Who
Sure.
seconded that?
Jesse. Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Mr. Gross?
Brad Hayes.
Yes.
Scott Barker.
Yes.
Amanda Burr.
Yes.
Jesse Juniman.
Yes.
Mike Langman.
Yes.
Charlie McPherson.
Motion approves. Next on the agenda is to approve the open enrollment resolution, and I will have to read this to you. I apologize up front. So. The resolution, yes, right? Whereas the school board is required by law to adopt by resolution policies and specific standards for acceptance or rejection of option enrollment applications by October 15th for the following school year. And whereas the school board has received and reviewed evidence and information submitted by the administration and other sources and made determinations thereon with respect to standards for acceptance or rejection and with respect to the capacity of this school district to accept option enrollment students based upon available staff, available facilities, projected enrollment, and availability of special education programs for the following school year. And whereas the school board has determined that the educational interests of the school district would be best served by adoption of the resolutions and the policies and the specific standards herein contained. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the option enrollment policy presented to the school board as policy 5006 and appendix 1 to such policy 5006 should be and the same are hereby adopted, and any previous policy or interpretation or application of the option enrollment program which is or has been inconsistent with the policy 5006 and appendix 1 to such policy 5006 are repealed effective on the date of the passage of this resolution. Be it further resolved that all paragraphs, subparagraphs, and portions of words of this resolution of policy 5006 and appendix 1 to such policy 5006 are separable, and that in the event any of the same are determined to be invalid for any reason, such determination shall not affect the validity of any of the remainder of the same. Be it further resolved that policies and specific standards for acceptance or rejection of option enrollment applications should be and are hereby adopted for applications filed after adoption of this resolution and are hereinafter set forth. And then, so I'm just gonna go over each building capacity rather than grade, if that works for you. Building capacity for the elementary school, 480, projected enrollment is 300, so the number of option students would be 100. Building capacity for Central Elementary would be 240. Their projected enrollment is for 199, 41 number of option students. And then for the junior high, 420 is the building capacity. 285 is the projected enrollment. 135 would be the number of option students. And then at the high school, 600 is the capacity. 472 is the projected enrollment, which would be 128 option students. And that is for this school year, which would be 25-26. And then we're also for 26-27. For the elementary, the building capacity is 120, projected enrollment is 104, number of option students would be 16. Okay, it should be 480, and then that would be 412.
It's off, but it should be 480.
Okay.
And then this one, 240, 420. And the building capacity would be the same. Oh, it would be the same as this one.
Right, we were off one line with this data, so let's start over for the 26-27 school year. Building capacity for the elementary is 480. 380 is the projected enrollment. That would be 100 option students available. For Central Elementary, it would be 240 is the capacity. 199 is the projected enrollment. That would be 41 students would be the option. For option enrollment, the junior high would be 420 would be capacity. The The projected enrollment is 285, which would be 135 option students.
And that's on the other page.
And then,
It's the same thing.
same, okay. So then for the high school, it would be 600 for the program capacity, 472 is the projected enrollment with 128 option students. Ooh, that's a lot. So with that, I'm looking for a motion.
I move to approve the 2025-2026 option enrollment resolution.
A motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Do you have any information for us, Mr. Norgard? We have to do this annually.
Yeah, it's an annual, by October 15th, you're there to recognize what the next year's option enrollment numbers are going to be. That's why it might seem strange to do 26, 27, but that's by state statute. So while those numbers can fluctuate, and they often do, they want some sort of premise put in place. Now, what's important with this is that we're not close to being full option enrollment for general population. The areas where an option might be declined is when there's a program that is full, that a specific student qualifies for. And so every student's looked at on a case-by-case basis. So let's say we have a special education student apply for option enrollment to an 8th grade. We look at the IEP, Mr. Hansen looks at the IEP carefully, and then the determination is made based off of the IEP and our ability to meet the IEP of whether or not that option enrollment is accepted. So while we have this resolution for general population, it's really just requirement of state statute. We're not close to being full on general population. It'd be any special program that we might deny an option enrollment on. And so that does occur at times, not always, but sometimes that does occur.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Mr. Gross?
Scott Barker.
Yes.
Amanda Burr.
Yes.
Jesse Juniman.
Yes.
Mike Langen.
Yes.
Charlie McPherson.
Yes.
Brad Hayes.
Yes. Motion approved. Next on the agenda is to approve a resolution authorizing the superintendent or their designee to sign all necessary state and federal documents.
I move to approve a resolution authorizing the superintendent or their designee to sign all necessary state and federal documents, applications, and related forms on behalf of the district.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? This is an annual thing that we have to do as well. It's just a matter of signing all the paperwork that was involved. with
It's usually
running the
grant
school
dollars
district.
or grant, it's usually money related, so, or auditing for those auditing purposes, so, we need to have authority to sign those documents.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Mr. Gross?
Amanda Burr.
Yes.
Jesse Juniman.
Yes.
Mike Langen.
Yes.
Charlie McPherson.
Yes.
Brad Hayes.
Yes.
Scott Barker.
Yes.
Motion approved. Next on the agenda is positive comments. We'll start with Mike.
Okay, well, I would say the biggest positive comments I would have is just the administration and some school board members and the people around town that have promoted the new construction of the junior high. I know it's a big bill, but when you look at all the, you don't know the options that people have for the decisions that they make. And I think our options on this building are I think we would be wrong to put a whole bunch of money into this building just to try to get it through, and then that money would be gone. And then you would kick the can down the road and pay more. And I think that is, to me, is a bigger boondoggle than anything else. And just the education of everybody, what's going on. I mean, I realize what the magnitude of it is, but I think there's been a lot of thought and preparation into it. And I think in the long term, it's gonna be, if it goes through, it'll be good for McCook, and it'll really build a community. I don't like I wish it was less. I wish we didn't have inflation and numerous other things, but understanding the options that we have, I think this is the best choice. And I thank you guys for doing all the work with all the background information, vetting it, and giving transparency of what everything is. I thought that's laying it on the line. And look at what we've done. I mean, we've taken money out of the high school, we've remodeled the high school piece by piece, and they're gonna turn that into a 100-year building. We got the gym floor, and luckily by flood or whatever, but that's one of the best gym floors in the state of Nebraska right now. You got the track, is one of the best tracks west of Lincoln. You've got the tennis courts are top notch. You've got a lot of little projects, fix-it projects out there. Wyland Field is one of the best venues in high school football in the state of Nebraska. We have so much to be proud of. The elementary is not, I mean, so many things going on, and this is our Achilles heel. And I hope that this move goes forward, and we could really have a pretty good environment for the kids for the future.
Thank you.
I just want to say I want to thank all the administration for everything they're doing these last couple of weeks, especially this week with the new teachers and welcoming them and doing all the training and everything like that. I'm excited for the new year to start.
I just give a shout out to Mr. Dickus, Mr. Curl, and all their counseling staff. Last week obviously was registration, and they work a lot of extended hours, and they're always very flexible. I think one night I rolled in at maybe 10 till 7, and they didn't have any problem helping me create a schedule change. So just like they do every year, they do a really good job, and I just want to say I appreciate that.
Sorry.
No, I just want to give a big shout out and a thank you to the custodial and support staff that really turn on their hours during the summer months when students are in school and, get the buildings back to where they need to be to prepare for another school year. And just want to say, best of luck to all the teachers and faculty that's going to be returning this week, and hope they have a good school year.
Jesse.
Yep, I want to thank you guys for all the work you put in to get the school ready. And, I know it's a lot of work that goes into another school year, but here we are, getting ready to start another school year. I want to appreciate you guys just for doing that, and all the work you put into the bond. Let's hope tomorrow goes the way we're hoping it goes. And I saw pictures, I haven't been by, but at the new blacktop at Central, so it looks really good. So that's all I have.
Jeff.
I want to personally thank Heather Collicott. I don't know if all of you guys have been made aware, but Heather has resigned and is going to leave us for another employment. She's been instrumental in our office for the last 5 or 6 years. And when you work hand in hand with somebody and they're professional and friendly, and that first voice you get when you call McCook Public Schools main line, she's just been a trooper, and so she's going to be missed, definitely by our staff and by me. But I just wanted to say thank you for all she's done. So, and then I usually don't do two, but I'm going to do two. I want to thank somebody that's sitting in this room, Mary Doolin. All of the hours that we spent working on the bond, Mary was always there representing our community. We were there as the school, given the facts. Mary was there as a loyal patron and representing McCook on the move, and gave her spin on things. But Mary, thanks for being at everything and just all the effort you spent. So I don't think that should go unnoticed by anybody that had anything to do with this bond, how much time Mary put in. So thank you.
Thanks, Mary. I would just like to say thanks to the McCook on the Move group. That was a group of citizens that did a good job promoting the bond, as well as for Mr. Gross, Mr. Norgard, and Mr. Lyons for being available during the summer with the bond. And then wishing the well for all of the buildings and all the administrators, welcoming all the new students back, and enjoy this school year. Should be a great one. And then Mr. Newberg.
I wanted to just point out that we had a staff member that went on some very interesting and in-depth excursions over the summer. Mr. Corey David, as a science teacher, was involved with some pretty significant trainings that took him to far off areas of the world. And so I think it was a great experience for him, and I think what that does is he'll be able to bring that back to the classroom, use those experiences and that new knowledge that he's gained to inspire kids, to teach kids, and I think it's going to be a real positive for McCook Public Schools. I want to thank Mary. I want to thank for the work that you've done. I know Gene was at a lot of the events as well, and just put in a lot of time and energy and effort. And of course, Heather in our office has done an amazing job. So really, it's a hard first door place. So, but we wish her well in her future endeavors.
And I would add to that, so you're gonna start getting a lot of emails from Trish Willis.
Okay.
So that's, Trish is moving from the registrar into that position. So that's who a lot of your correspondence besides Grant now start coming from Mrs. Willis, okay?
Thanks for the heads up there. Okay, next on the agenda is adjournment, so the meeting is adjourned at 6:40.